Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today I'm doing something a little bit different here at the range to talk to you about what you need to start shooting NRL22 or PRS Rimfire. Now, what I have here is my wife's gun. It is not quite a base class setup, but it is very similar. So the first things you need to know that in NRL22 and PRS Rimfire, there are some pretty basic divisions. The first one being base class or production class. That is limited to rifles less than $1,300 or $1,400, depending on the league. Now, open class, there is no limitations on your rifle. Ladies, seniors, and juniors, which would also be old guns or young guns, are all part of the open class. They are just separate subdivisions. As well, in PRS, there is a semi-auto division. Not really a thing in NRL22, but if you have a semi-auto, you can still shoot NRL22, just within the base class or the open class. So we're going to address the things that you need to show up to your first rifle match and be able to enjoy yourself and have a good time. The biggest thing you're going to need is a 22 long rifle. So this here is a Ruger precision rifle and 22 long rifle. You can also use something like the CZ457 or the Savage B series precision rifle. They're all bolt action. They're all perfect. Heck, you could even use your Ruger 1022 if you have one. However, you're probably going to have a better time and be a little bit more competitive starting out with something in the bolt action variety. I would also say it's important to have something like an Arca rail that helps you quickly add or remove accessories like your bipod, and gives you the ability also for some of these stranger props like a 55-gallon drum to be able to slide it all the way back so you can fit the whole rifle on the prop. Now, moving forward, you will also need a bipod. What I have here is a Harris bipod that is canting and has the little divots or ridges in it to lock at different positions. And part of the reason why you want the canting one is because your left and right swivel is important to make sure your rifle's straight up and down, even if you are on an unlevel surface. That really goes a long way to making your life easier. So a bipod is 100% necessary, just as much so as the rifle. Moving back, you're going to want a magnified optic. For some new shooters, some really, really great options come from the Athlon company. Arkin is another good alternative, as would be Scorpion or Teslong out of Canada. They're all great options for introductory shooters, and I would highly recommend you check them out. Next, I would say is you want to have anywhere between 3 and 6 magazines, typically. My wife has 2 10-rounders and a 15-rounder for those higher round count stages. Makes a very, very big difference, makes your life much easier. Something else that is just as essential to your success as the rifle is a support bag. These are sandbags, and you're going to put them on the prop and then put your rifle on top of them. Some widely recognized brands that I can recommend are Weebad, Armageddon Gear, and then my also close personal friend that is local to here, Working Man Tactical. I use all Working Man Tactical bags. This is an Armageddon Gear bag with my Gunsmith's logo sewn onto it. They all came with a heavy sand fill, and I have moved on to some alternative fills. We're not going to cover those in this video. However, they are things that down the line you would likely consider as a competitor. So, after you have your sandbag, your rifle, your mags, your scope, and your bipod, what else is highly important? Your ammunition. You're going to want to typically bring to a match between 100 and 150 rounds, possibly even more, depending on how big or how long the match runs for. My wife's rifle here happens to like CCI standard. It's a pretty good starting spot, along with Norma's TAC 22. There are tons of different ammos out there. I would say when you first get into this, you want to try a bunch of different ones to see what groups best with your rifle. But just as important as the ammunition grouping is being able to chronograph and test how fast the ammunition is leaving your barrel. That data is absolutely essential to your success in shooting precision rimfire. When doing your data, something you're going to need, now this is the expensive option, so I don't recommend it for everyone, but as a seasoned competitor, it's what is a must, is the Kestrel ballistic weather meter. So this here will hold all of the data for this rifle, what it's going to do at what temperature and what range. It can measure and read the wind and do a number of really nifty things that are going to help you with your success. Now, if you don't want to spend between $400 and $800 on one of these items, you can just as easily use your everyday cell phone. Now, with your cell phone, you're going to have apps like Straylock Pro or Ballistics. Why am I naming two different ones? Well, that's because Straylock Pro has been taken offline due to really asinine political reasons. So that's a bit of unobtainium. There's a ton of different options out there now that you can use. I only really have experience with Straylock, and I've played with Ballistics, but I don't know it very well. But here in the app, you can see that you're going to be able to tune into your local weather. You're going to be able to dial your range and have it spit out all of that data for you so that you know what you need to dial your rifle to at a very specific range. Now, with all that being said, some other things that I would highly recommend you bring with you are a backpack to keep all of your stuff together. I would recommend you bring water, Gatorade, any source of hydration. These matches can go for several hours, if not all day at a larger match, and you want to stay hydrated. And as well as that, I would say bring snacks, right? I'm type 1 diabetic, so it's a little bit more important for me. But you want to keep your body fueled and maintained while you're doing these things, right? Uh, it's not going to feel like a lot of exercise when you're at your typical match, but you're going to be up, down, moving around. It's a lot more demanding than you think it is. So make sure that you're eating and you're hydrating and you're taking care of yourself while you're on the stages. It's a lot more important than you think it is, and it's something that a lot of competitors overlook. Now, something that is a safety concern and absolutely everybody has to have is a chamber flag. What this does is it goes into the chamber of the rifle to show that there is not a bullet in that chamber. When you're at a match, this shows that you are safe, you are clear, and no accidents are going to happen. This is a must for both NRL22 and PRS Rimfire. I can't say how important it is enough. Like you have to have one of these. Period. The end. No discussion. Must have. I typically have a couple extras in my bag. My wife has one or two extras in her bag. Most competitors have more than one. It's a really good thing to have. I happen to like Haas and Shield. They're a Western Pennsylvania company. They put a magnet in there so it locks to your barrel. It cannot accidentally fall out. That is a amazing thing to have. But aside from that, guys, when you show up to your first match, don't be afraid to ask questions. The communities are all really open and really accepting. People are probably going to have stuff for you to try and test while you're out doing there. it's a really great place to be, and it's a really great place to try precision shooting for the first time. What my wife has here right now is just a Ruger Precision Rimfire in 22 long rifle. It's an Area 419 weighted Arca rail, a Harris bipod with an Area 419 adapter on it. She has an Athlon Chronos optic in a worn Ideal Height MSR mount, and that's it. She shoots normal 1022 mag. She shoots CCI standard. Um, Pretty much any 22 long rifle you have out there is going to get the job done at a match like this. When you get out there, just focus on having a good time, learning as much as you can, asking questions, and getting as many hits as you possibly can, right? Typically, for a brand new shooter, I tell you your only goal for the day is try not to get any zeros on any of the stages. Keep it simple, keep it easy, keep it light. There's a lot you can do and a lot you can learn, and you will pick it up really quickly. Don't get discouraged. It is not easy the first time you do it. Hell, it's not easy for me, and I'm a seasoned competitor. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for coming out. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe, especially because this is the first of many informational videos to come. Yeah, this is the base of what you need to shoot your first NRL22 or PRS Rimfire match. Guys, thank you so much for coming out and spending this time with me, and I look forward to seeing you on the line.